Kita ke kabar selanjutnya, pemirsa. Prancis siap untuk mempererat kerjasama dan kemitraan dengan Indonesia di bawah pemerintahan Presiden Prabowo Subianto. Di antaranya bidang teknologi, pertahanan, serta kebudayaan. Dan berikut wawancara khusus rekan saya, Agita Malika, dengan Duta Besar Prancis untuk Indonesia, His Excellency Mr. Fabien Penone.
Discussed cooperation between France and Indonesia is the defense sector, that there has been intense meetings on defense cooperation, which also includes technology transfer and also trade of military equipment. Could you provide us with an update on the progress?
Yes, for sure. I think the most important thing is to understand why France and Indonesia are working together. I think from a strategic viewpoint, we share the same position, respect for international law, multilateralism. France and Indonesia, we try to avoid rivalries, we try to soften the tensions. We have the same values as democracies too, so we have the same vision for the international order. And we think it is also important for a country from the north and a country from the south to work together. On this common strategic approach, we have then developed our cooperation. First, a defense and security dialogue between our two countries. For instance, we launched last July 2023 a 2+2 meeting, i.e. our ministers for defense and foreign affairs jointly working and exchanging, and this will go on every 2 years, so the next meeting will be in 2025. We also have a defense cooperation agreement, so between our ministries for defense, which was established in 2021. Based on this global framework, political and defense framework, we are developing operational cooperation. Just to give you a few examples, a port call by French vessels here in Indonesia. We are participating to Indonesian military exercises like Super Garuda Shield, Komodo exercises. Inversely, we are also, as you know, deploying each year the Pegasus mission to showcase our capacity to project French air forces in the Indo-Pacific, and we are also there working with Indonesia. Based on this operational cooperation and exercises, also we are developing our cooperation on equipment, and there too we consider that this is a real partnership, because this is not about only selling equipment. This is about working together on the use of this equipment. We are also making transfer of technologies, so we are also participating to the development of the local defense industrial and technological bases.
And now, shall we talk about French culture, Mr. Ambassador?
Yes, with pleasure. This is a priority for us in Indonesia.
So I understand there is a growing cooperation between France and Indonesia in the field of culture and also human exchange. Could you give us an overview on it?
Yes, for sure. As I said, this is very important for us. The starting point is the importance, the diversity, the creativity of Indonesia. I am meeting on a regular basis Indonesian artists, creators, designers, painters, and we know that there are many opportunities for France and Indonesia to work together. First, I have to say that this is not new. As you know, for the 75th anniversary of our bilateral relationship, we have launched a project to showcase some of the very prominent French artists, scientists, creators who over the last 150 years contributed to the development of our bilateral cultural and scientific cooperation. Just to name a few figures, like the photographer Henri Cartier-Bresson, who was married with a Japanese dancer, Ratna Mohini. They lived together, they traveled in Indonesia just after the independence of the country. The French composer Debussy discovered gamelan, and he completely changed the way how he was composing after having discovered gamelan. The famous oceanographer Jacques-Yves Cousteau travel all across the archipelago. The famous volcanologue Arun Taziev also did marvelous documentary films about your volcanoes. So we have already a very deep cultural and scientific cooperation. But we want to project for the future. And so concretely, we are working on cultural and creative industries. Okay. Cinema, because you have such a booming and dynamic cinema industry. Video games, gastronomy, design and fashion. Our two countries are very developed in this field, and we think we could gather our forces, work together, and project worldwide.
Wonderful and very promising. After we talk about many cooperation between France and Indonesia in many sectors, so which fields of partnership will be the priorities between France and Indonesia under President Prabowo Subianto's administration?
As you rightly said, our two leaders have decided to reinforce and strengthen, deepen our strategic partnership. President Macron welcomed President Prabowo Subianto in Paris on the 24th of July, just a few days, 2 days before the opening of the Olympics.
Yes.
They met again recently in margin of the G20 Rio summit, and they clearly decided new orientation for our bilateral cooperation. Basically, what we want is to keep on diversifying and scaling up what we have already achieved. So we will reinforce our cooperation on the international stage, on the international crises or global issues. We will keep on reinforcing our economic relationship based on projects. And for instance, as you know, French companies have a real expertise in important fields like city management, technologies, digital technologies, transport, and we think these are key sectors where we could do more. And as I said before, obviously culture and education. We are already doing many things, but we think we could do much more together in these sectors too.
Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for taking the time to talk with us today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Dan pemirsa, demikian perbincangan kami dengan Duta Besar Prancis untuk Indonesia, Mr. Fabien Penone, yang tadi sudah menjelaskan bagaimana kemudian kerjasama antara Prancis dan juga Indonesia di dalam hubungan diplomatik yang sudah terjalin hampir 75 tahun, dan tentunya akan ada banyak kerjasama-kerjasama ke depan yang akan segera terjalin.